Doing anything fun after this?
The town meeting.
Oh,
It never ends.
oh, man.
Doing anything fun after this?
Okay, Madam Chair, the meeting can be called to order whenever you would like.
Oh, sorry. I thought I had to take that phone call, but I didn't.
No, it's okay.
So I will call the meeting to order. This is the open space meeting of November 16th at 5 p.m. And so the first thing on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Brett, did you want to lead us in that?
Absolutely, I will lead you in
Thank
that.
you.
Give me one
I don't have a flag.
No, it's okay.
But
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
thank you, Brett. So the first thing we have on the agenda is to continue talking about old business that we had. There's 4 different things on here. The open space recreation plan, view the town-owned land map, or the town-owned land map, excuse me, the annual report, and the open space cover photos. So what did we have for the open space and to review the open space and recreation plan? Bill, did we have more stuff we were gonna?
Did you guys all got the final revisions to the sections that I sent around, right? To Kevin? I sent those around to everybody.
Oh,
So that included all the things that we talked about the last time and the things that I had put in previously. So if nobody had any problems with that, that's basically it. We can start finalizing all of the sections.
because I don't see, Bill, I don't see anything from you directly since until what you just sent to me today. And then before that, it was July.
Did everybody?
No, there was something he sent to Kevin after the last meeting, I believe.
Yeah, and then I sent it around to everybody else so that everybody be on the same page. Kevin had requested the most up-to-date stuff.
Yeah, right. Okay, let me see.
But that wasn't July, that was
No, that was right after the last meeting.
October.
Okay, so I see something from Kevin. Okay.
It's
Shoot.
probably in a thread. I hate that. My email is sorted like that. It's tough
Yeah,
to
I
So
scroll
the
see
thing I got from Kevin was the Dayton outdoor facility audits.
Yeah, I see that one.
But I didn't get anything from Bill.
Okay, let me go in.
I did.
Yeah, I sent it around. Let me go
The
check.
last thing I got from you, Bill, was in July 21st.
Yeah, exactly.
And Brett, you got it? Because I said it was in October.
Nope, I got nothing.
Did you send it for something else, Bill?
I don't think so.
I'm looking and I don't see it at all.
Okay, I don't see it either. Okay, so I guess we can't really talk about that because it seems like 2 of us didn't get it. So Kevin, you got the updates and stuff?
Yes, I did. I'm trying to breeze through my emails here to see if I can find
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm doing as well. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you guys a minute.
Yeah, it looks like Bill, actually, you sent it out on the 21st, but it did only go to me. It wasn't forwarded to everybody.
No, after that, I forwarded it to everybody else. That's why Brett would have gotten it.
Oh, okay.
To put everybody on the same page.
Let me see if I got something from Brett that I missed.
I have so many emails. It's crazy.
No, me too. Yeah.
Nope.
So but Bill, the finalized sections would have just been what the committee had already gone over. The only person who needed to be brought up to speed would have been Kevin, right?
So I
because
got
it's
the
new.
Dayton.
Well, no, I had some,
for the
I had some
stormwater
changes in those. Wait a minute, I did have some changes in those that I put in that I wanted everybody to have, because Kevin was gonna get the one with all the final edits.
Hmm.
Let me see, and I sent that.
I got it. Final Dayton OSRP Section 9. Is that what you're talking
Yep,
about?
that's what it would be titled, and it had
So
section.
Ellen, it was under Brett.
Okay.
Oh my
but
God,
don't
I
see
still
you
can't find it.
CC'd on it.
This is terrible.
I
Well,
have
I'm gonna
so
send
many
it to you
emails,
right
it's
now.
crazy.
Okay, so what was it called?
So it was sent on 10/19 by Brett. And it was the stormwater, Dayton recommendations for the stormwater committee. And then the final Dayton open space report plan, section 9 document.
So you said it was sent on the 19th?
10/19, but I see myself and Kevin see.
Yeah, I don't see it. The only email I got from Brett
No,
had
it
our,
doesn't, it's not sent to you, Ellen.
okay, well, this explains why I was unaware of it.
I'm gonna
Can
forward,
someone forward it to me now?
hold on.
I think we already have it. It's just the
Okay.
section 9
Yep,
that Bill had previously sent.
Ellen, I
Right.
just sent it to you.
Okay, thank you.
I thought section 7 was in there too.
The one that I received from Brett was only section 9.
Yeah,
and
just I only have
stormwater.
section 9.
Okay, because Kevin, I sent you section 7 also, didn't I, in section? another
Yes.
section? Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't get I don't think I have that one either. I think I only have the section 9 one.
Yep, and then the stormwater attachment.
yeah, okay, that's not the same one.
Yeah. Yeah, I did, we did talk about previously the stormwater,
The Rex, yeah.
Yeah, we did. And that's what, that's actually the discussion that the maps came out of also, that I sent you.
right.
I
Yep.
ended up meeting with your MVP committee.
Yeah, I saw the map. I got that tonight. Why did we get 2 maps from that?
I didn't want to, just in case a lot of people can't take a lot of incoming email, because they're both 4 meg, I couldn't reduce them anymore. So I sent them in 2 separate 4 meg
Okay.
emails instead of sending 8 all at once, just in case. Yeah, what I'd sent Kevin was the final section 7, the final section 9, and all of the questions to the different boards
Uh-huh.
that we posed, the questions and answers, so he'd be up to speed, because we were talking about those
okay,
last
yep.
time. Yep.
Yeah, so some of that I wouldn't have needed anyway. Then.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's what I was trying to convey, was just simply that
Yeah.
just that so actually, Bill, if you could send me that as well, because although Jess and Ellen would have it, I
Sure.
actually don't have it as well. Those sections were
Okay.
when I actually, let me back up. So when I joined, we were discussing section 9.
Okay,
so
sure.
I have section 9, as Jess had alluded to. That's why she probably didn't even need it when I sent it to her. I apologize, Jess. But that's the only section I had. So I will
Okay.
need it as well.
All right, so do you want the questions and answers in section 7?
Yeah, just whatever I need.
Okay, I'll send that to you, sure.
For me, it's just to read and
Yep.
just to see.
Okay,
So I appreciate it. Thank you, Bill.
no problem at all, no problem. Okay, so that,
And I think, Bill, to Ellen's question about the MVP maps, the
Yes.
2, I know why you put them in 2 separate emails. I think Ellen's question was, what's the difference between the 2 maps?
okay, the difference between the 2 maps is that on one of them, we broke it out because the state, they like to see ownership of the different open space parcels or open land in the town. So on
Yeah.
one of them, you have the green boxes or green parcels are town-owned land, which is usually under the control of the selectmen.
Mm-hmm.
The blue boxes are the Dayton Water District,
Mm-hmm.
and the red boxes are Conservation Commission.
Gotcha.
And on the second map with just all red boxes, that's just all town-owned land. We combined all three of them together.
Ah, okay, I see that.
That's all.
Okay.
That way, because the state,
Awesome.
for some reason, what they like to see is all town-owned land, and then they like, if you have the breakout, that fine, they break it out for all the different categories, and you guys do. And I put them on
Perfect.
the MVP maps because in between our meetings, I've been working with Nancy Goulart as the town's municipal vulnerability plan coordinator for the core team.
Mhm.
And we've been putting together a regional plan with Swansea and Somerset to see how we can solve environmental problems that are common to the three towns. So that's why you've got your green infrastructure on there and all your flood areas.
Mhm.
And we've come up with some great stuff. Tom Ferry's looking at the plans, and different people from the MVP teams in the different towns are looking at them. And we're going to come up with an addendum for your MVP plan that went to the state. And we're also, we're being urged by the committee to put these into the open space plan as well. That way it's mentioned in more than one planning document.
Right.
Sets you up for more grant opportunities. So the information on here, this is going to be a map that's not even required, but we're going to put this in with your open space maps and refer to it in section 4. I'm going to add to section 4, which has been done for a while, but under the environmental challenges section. And I'm going to show that we've been working with our neighboring towns, because that will also get you extra points on grant applications.
Yeah, that sounds like really good.
So that's what the gist of that map is. That's why it's two different maps with two different views. But the one that you'd be probably most concerned about for our use would be the water district land, the town-owned land under the control of selectmen, and the Conservation Commission land, and its relationship to the green infrastructure that's on there in the background. The dark green is protected, and the light green is green infrastructure that isn't protected, but can really help you out, especially if it's adjacent to town-owned land, for flood control, climate resilience, the whole bit. That's the stuff we were talking about the last time. So I took the matrix that Brett gave me with all of the land updates, and all the parcels on here reflect everything that was in the matrix that I got. So it's an update on the update that we originally did for the open space plan.
That's fabulous. Good
Yeah,
work.
and this you'll have in GIS now too. We can get this to you guys any way, shape, or form. And as parcels come in, as you get more parcels, we can just add it to this map.
Bill, when you say we can add it to the map, who does the updates? I assume.
Oh, we can. Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah.
You can send me the up. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, don't even worry about that. We can do
All
that.
right, you sure?
No,
it seems like a lot of work. That's
no, because you guys don't have a GIS system right now, so we'd be more than happy to keep it up to date, because it helps us out, it helps you guys out, and it will inform all the plans that you have, your master plan, your open space plan, and your municipal vulnerability plan.
Yeah. So okay.
Oh, I just wanted to. I had one question.
Yep.
And this is for everybody. And it's more of a comment. So before our town administrator left, she had put me in touch with, bear with me just a second. What was his name? Division of Local Services. Bill, you probably know him. Sean Cronin.
Sean Cronin.
Not our Sergeant Cronin, everybody. Right. There is another Sean Cronin in the world. He works at Division of Local Services for the Commonwealth.
Right.
I am in touch with him simply because once we have an approved open space plan and it's part of our master plan, and so the planning board, agrees that it should be part of that, we can, Bill, send him the PDF of the open space and recreation plan.
Yep.
The reason I'm bringing this up is because it's actually really exciting. This makes us, with the conclusion of this makes us eligible for another round of community compact cabinet best practices, which has been really a big boon to the town in a lot of ways. We have gotten funds to address different stormwater issues from it. We were able, thanks to Bill, of course, we were able to form an agricultural commission and adopt a right to farm bylaw. And so a lot of different doors open up. And so we have ideas on what the next round will be. So we're really excited about this as a town. in addition to obviously having an official plan on the books. So things are looking really good. And so I just wanted to let you know, we'll be happy to get that ball rolling as well, Bill. So
Yeah,
thank
that's no problem, because once we're actually done with the draft, I can, if you guys had no problem with the last section there, section 7 and section 9, then
Mhm.
we can put the final draft together, the final plan, and submit a final draft for review by Melissa Cryan. And once you get the final draft in, she will at least give you a conditional approval.
Yeah,
She might say you have to tweak certain things here and there for
sure.
final approval, but if she gives you a letter of conditional approval, that makes you eligible for all these state grants. And that would be fine for Mr. Cronin. We send him that, and then when we get the final letter of approval, we send it to him also. So I'm shooting to get that done right after the first of the year and send it up there for submission, because the state grant cycles usually start in April, May, and June. So if we can get it in there, get a conditional approval, we'll be able to apply for all those grants. And while we're applying, we can finish up the tweaks that Melissa Cryan, who's in charge of the certification of planning for DCS, we can address those tweaks and get that done. Then she'll give us our final certification.
So in terms of, not just one last question on this, not to belabor the
Right ahead.
point.
No.
In terms of approval, because this is the first time we've got to this point, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
How does it all work? Is it considered approved once the open space committee votes to adopt it, approve it, or how does that all work, Bill?
You adopt it locally. So what happens is you'll need a letter of approval at a minimum from the regional planning agency, from the Board of Selectmen, and from the planning board. And then we can submit the plan, our final draft, and we send it up for review. And knowing that it's passed local approval, Melissa will review it. And like I said, if she has some problems with it, she'll say, I'd like you to, she'll send a letter back. And it's really nice. She numbers the points, like this page, this item, this page, this item. And she'll give us a conditional approval, which is nice, because once you have a conditional approval, like I said, you're eligible to apply for grants. You just can't get reimbursed for the grants until you have a final approval.
Okay.
But that's fine, because most of the grants, you have a 1-year grant cycle anyway. So in other words, we'll have plenty of time to address her asks. And then once that happens, we'll send in the revised plan, because nobody really gets away without doing a revision. I haven't seen anybody do that. Yeah. And then we'll send that in. She'll give us our final letter of determination. And that's it. But once we're in there, you'll actually show up on the state website, even with conditional approval. Now, say we send it in, in January. What she'll do is she'll give us a 7-year approval. So you'll be approved through January of 28.
Yeah.
And you'll see that on the state website. Then the only thing we'll have to do is, like I said, address whatever tweak she asks us to do.
Fabulous.
And it's not bad. The last couple I've done, I've had like 4 or 5 items to address, and they're fairly simple.
So does the committee think that, and I'm only asking this because we only have one more meeting in 2020 and it's next month. So do we expect that by next month, this committee will be making a vote on the plan? Or do we expect that to happen in January?
Probably in January. I mean, it's tight right now with the holidays and everything. And with the year coming to an end, you got all these things crash in. I know. I've got a lot on my plate, but I would like to get it out by January, and that way we'll be done with it. I can certainly turn it around by then.
Fabulous.
Cool.
I think that's doable. And then, that would give, any other boards that would like to see it, maybe we'll have some draft that they can take a look at, so we can collect those letters of approval, as you're saying, Bill. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem at all. This is good. I love the photos you guys sent too. Those were great.
I know. Yes. Let's discuss those if everybody is excited to do so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're
So
gorgeous.
So I put on Positively Dayton. I just said, this is what we're doing. And we were inundated with pictures, beautiful pictures of Dayton. If you can join Positively Dayton, you'll see the beautiful pictures. So I kind of went through, a lot of them were just water pictures.
Yeah.
So I kind of went through and did like land water pictures. So I picked out 4. I did say that we would recognize the person who took the
Oh,
photograph.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so I will, as soon as we decide as a committee which picture, I will message that person to get their approval.
If you would like, just because I love them all, we can do a collage front so that everybody, those four get the pictures on. the
That's
front.
fine. If that's how the committee wants to do it, that's great. I just picked out the four that I thought really represented Dayton and this open space.
Mhm.
I like the diversity. It was really nice. And I've done that in other towns where they've sent me pictures and they say, we would really like these. I'll do a collage front and put like the town seal in the middle of it and just the title above it. So everybody gets the picture on there. They get credit for a cover, which is really kind of cool because then you get some more ownership too. People say, yeah, it's my picture on the front of the plan.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to contact those people. Now, do you need me to do anything else, Bill, to, can you, what I sent you, is that okay? Or do you need it a certain way?
I can check with my GIS people and I'll get back to you. But if not, they might be able to convert them too. That's why I'll send it to Karen. She's the one who's been doing all my maps and stuff. And she's
Okay.
the one who usually does the layout. And if she says, can you get them in this, I'll let you know.
Okay,
But I
perfect.
think this should be okay. I mean, they're
So I'll
beautiful.
contact those four people if that's what the committee chooses to do, and
Yeah, those are all nice photos.
I loved them. I love them all.
Yeah.
I like the rainbow.
Yeah, they're all really nice, and they all I think show something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so perfect. I'll contact those people today, and then we'll have at least have their approval in writing that we can use their pictures.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That'll
that
be
sounds
great.
great.
That'll be great.
Yeah, that's a fun thing to have done, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the number of people that just volunteered their beautiful pictures.
Yeah.
I know there are actually, what I found too is there are a lot of photographers in town, and not necessarily professional, but people who do it as a hobby, and they're not doing it on their iPhone. They have like legitimate, like a real camera. And it's stunning, some of the photos that when we have asked for photos, some of the submissions are incredible.
Yeah,
we have
I
a
don't know if
beautiful
you have
town.
anything going on with the water, but people sent in beautiful water pictures.
Mhm.
Mhm.
No wonder mine didn't get selected. I only used my iPhone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that'll be good. Do we need a vote on that to vote on that we're gonna do a collage?
We probably, should, just for, just the CYA.
Yeah, okay, so I need a motion.
I'd like to motion to approve the picture collage for the cover photo.
A
I'll
second?
second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
perfect. Okay, so we're gonna do a nice collage. I guess we got it slightly out of order, but that's okay. Some of the old business that we had was the viewing the spreadsheet of the town-owned map was also on here.
Do
So
we
did you
think-
guys ever?
Can I ask a question? Is the
yeah.
spreadsheet in lieu of the maps that Bill provided us with? Because I think the maps are better, at least for the purposes of a Zoom meeting.
Yeah,
Are they the same information, I guess, is my question?
it's exactly, it's the same information, but
Uh-huh.
the maps are the visual representation. The spreadsheet will go in as the data representation. So you're fine, you're covered.
And
But we kind of have to cross-reference the two, right? Because that kind of identifies it. Some of the pieces, when we were looking at them last time, we were like, okay, where on, say, Cedar Street is this? So
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yep.
So one thing I did notice though, Bill, I think there's a mistake on the map.
Okay, which we're about,
It's a parcel, it's located pretty much at the corner of Main and Williams. It's a 15-acre parcel
okay.
that heads roughly east to west. It's a rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
That's right in behind my house, and I'm pretty darn certain that got sold a number of years ago.
That got sold?
Yeah,
Wow, okay, so, because that was still showing up on the spreadsheet, wow.
yeah, I'm like 90% certain it's now owned by my neighbor.
Okay,
Is that where that little red barn is?
No, it's an empty lot in behind that. So like it runs, yeah, it runs just in behind all the houses from the
All
corner
those-
of Williams and
yep.
Main, and then it ends roughly at my house, which is where the blue farmhouse is at the top of the hill.
Okay.
okay,
So, but yeah, like I said, I'm pretty darn certain it got sold.
all right, so I'll check that on the assessor's data that I got, and if it was sold, then probably the assessor should make the change too.
Yeah, the other thing too is I had a question about the land around Broad Cove.
Yep.
In the map, it's showing as 2 parcels are not under the control of conservation or just town owned.
Uh-huh,
That seemed odd to me because I mean, I know that it's been a conservation priority of the town for a long time.
I don't know, that's the way they showed up, I can check
Hmm.
back into them. But
Yeah,
that's
because
the way
that
they
just
showed
seems
up.
odd because I know that's been a long priority of
Oh,
them.
yeah.
It seems odd that they would leave it under control of the town overall when that's been such a priority. Anyway, that was just my take on it.
No, actually, it's a good point, Ellen, because in section 7, where it says changes of management, we can say if those are town-owned properties, under the control of the selectmen, we can suggest that they be put under the Conservation Commission, shifted over, so they can be protected in perpetuity under Article 97. Once the Conservation Commission has them, they're protected in perpetuity. They have to go to the state legislature to be overturned for any
Right.
other use.
Yeah,
Right,
it might
exactly.
just
I
be a
would think-
transfer. I don't know
Yeah.
what the procedure is, Bill, but this may be a simple transfer. I think that's a good point because I will tell you, the selectmen we're not protecting these things. I mean, we're certainly not trying to sell them or
Right.
disrupt them in any way, but we do not know how to protect these parcels. So I'm happy to entertain a request like that when the time comes.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder like if the parcel in behind my house isn't showing as sold. I'm wondering if there's other parcels like that because that was part of a land auction that happened a number of years ago.
Yeah, I remember I was there with you when they were lining up the parcels to be sold.
Yeah, so like at that time I had kind of stopped them from selling it, but eventually they did sell a batch of parcels. So in between that time period, there was an auction and stuff did get sold, but and that's why I like I said, I'm pretty darn certain it was sold at that time.
All right. We'll
So
take a
there-
look at it.
Yeah, so hopefully there aren't other ones on here that are the same way, but I wouldn't know about any others.
Okay. That's easy to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, the other thing too is I was just looking on Oliver, Bill, and there's a lot of parcels that are showing on this map as being just town owned, and then Oliver is showing them as being conservation. Why would there be the discrepancy? How does Oliver identify what's conservation and versus town owned?
I don't know, because I would imagine they'd have to go by if information on the deeds were given to the state, but I have no idea how they'd mix that up.
Huh, okay.
Because based on the information that's submitted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's what I would have figured too.
I can check with Bob O'Connor too, because they just came out this past fall with the actually spring with the state updated open space map.
Uh-huh.
And it was kind of odd because I noticed when I looked at the map, especially for my district, he had a whole huge map up on the wall. It looked like some parcels had actually disappeared, that they didn't show up, and parcels that I was familiar with, and I'm saying, no, this should be this should be that. So I don't know what state their data is in either.
Right,
So
yeah.
I'll check that. I'll see what we can do with that.
Right, yeah. Like I said, there was a number of parcels just looking quickly where, yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, just so, okay. Do we have any other comments about that, the map or the spreadsheet?
No, and just again, a note on the spreadsheet, it is probably far more outdated than the maps are. So Just wanted to note that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so funny that everything is just, yeah. You don't think of town-owned properties being in flux all the time.
Well, you know what would be better in terms of a spreadsheet for town-owned properties? Because we have auctions, sometimes things get sold, etc.
Right.
I think probably having it on like a Google sheet where it just changes in real time, that probably would be the best way to keep an inventory like that. But you know, when you send an Excel spreadsheet, I mean, it's old the second you send it if something happens. So
Right.
you have to send another one to update it. So anyway, maybe we can do that as an improvement. And I'll talk to the assessing office about that.
All right, and I'll see if Karen can take a deep dive too with the people who do your assessors information and with the state. She might be able to get into the DCR stuff and knock it around and see what you got.
Yeah,
That
see what there's a
shouldn't be a
number of
problem at all.
conflicts. What was that, Bill?
I was going to have Karen Porter, our GIS person,
Uh-huh.
see if she can get into the DCR database because they're the ones who would take the latest information and put them up. So that's the information that would be in Oliver.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Bill. I
Oh,
appreciate
no
it.
problem at all.
Okay. So I think we've covered all of the, oh wait, we have the open space committee annual report. I'm
Yes,
sorry,
that
but I don't remember what was.
that
going
wouldn't
on
be
with that.
due until June 2021.
Okay.
And that's just a voluntary thing. We don't have to do it, but I think we should. I think we're doing good work. And I think by that time we'll have a plan that's approved that we can talk about. And I think we should do that, but that's not until June of, next year.
Okay, because that's funny because I thought the annual reports were due in January.
No, so I prepared a report for the selectmen to read that I'm going to read tonight, but that's just because like no one else is going to give a report from any other town department. It's more standard that the annual town reports are done for the annual town meeting in June, because at that meeting, they're actually really done before that, probably May. But a document gets printed and they get bound into a book, Ellen.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying for the record. We want that, but they're not done in January. They're always done in June.
Oh, that's so funny because, so like, as you know, I work with a state agency and we have to report our activities to the towns and they always ask us in January.
Really?
Yeah. We have to do all our reports at the beginning of the year to the towns.
Like for the stuff that happened the last year?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that makes more sense, but everything here runs on like a fiscal timeline, which is different than the calendar year. So it runs on a fiscal year.
Yeah, exactly. It just seems so funny that it would be different for my towns. Okay.
But yeah, we'll have a a report that will be published in that book. That will be handed out at the town meeting.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I want to, like you, I want to make sure we record to, make sure everybody knows.
Absolutely.
Annual report about that.
Absolutely.
Plus, also, it makes it easier if ever there's we had problems even locating a complete plan of the open space plan, the previous one.
Yeah.
It would have been helpful for it to have been in the book.
Or somewhere, yeah.
That makes too much sense,
at least an announcement it was complete.
Well, the best part about this is when it's done, you get a digital copy and you get physical copies because the state requires both. So you guys love the same thing. So when you update it, have to update it the next time, or you can update it as you go along, having digital copy. As you address the things that you've accomplished, you can highlight them in a different color in the action plan items, and you can move things up. You can change things as you get more facts about the town. You'll say, as you acquire more properties, a whole bit. So once you have it, you'll never have to go through all the pains again like this. You'll be able to update it on the fly.
Right. Yeah. And it becomes much more of a living document, like just,
That's the way I like, that's the way I like to leave them. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to start from scratch every time.
No.
Like that would be like the planning board wanting to do that, redo their master plan because it's 6 years old. and not using the one from 2014 as a template, just like literally starting from a blank piece of paper. It makes no sense. Ellen, what you're talking about raises a bigger point that we as a town should confront, and that's how does information get passed down from committees like ours, like because members come and go, right? Thank God we've had Ellen and Jess and Bill who have really been here steering the ship since the beginning. But what if Ellen and Jess had left? It would have been very hard for me and Kevin, and we wouldn't have known where to begin, and we would have had to look for the documents that you had to find and scramble to find when you guys started.
Right, exactly.
And
One
so
thing
there needs to be a policy on, how does this information get kept and maintained in a secure way?
Right.
I don't know if this is a possibility, but we started with the Commission on Disability. We started, and I'm sure like if there was like private information that we probably wouldn't share it there, but we started a Dropbox for like just our for that commission, just so like everybody has access to everything all the time, and you can live edit and all that stuff. So I mean that's worked out good for us as a group.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we definitely should be doing something like that. That's a really good idea, Kevin, because the other thing too is just like us shuffling around, a little while ago about trying to find this document and that document in our emails.
Right. Yeah. Then you don't have to fish through like that whole thread of emails to find it. If somebody always, puts it in the Dropbox, then it's right there.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, we should be doing that. I mean, really, it seems to me, Brett, does the town have anything like that available for us to make use of?
So I will be honest, and we don't advertise this, but the entire budget process starting last year was done on like Google Sheets. So everything was done on a living document. Every change was traced. It was the first year we did it that way. And it probably was a smoother year than we ever have had before because we weren't emailing back and forth, FY 2021 budget version 65, it's just, we all know what that life was like. And so we've come a long way. We did the business guide, Kevin, on Google Docs, Mallory and I, and it was awesome. So yes, we have been doing that.
Okay.
I don't know if each department or committee like us is doing it, but that's what I'm saying is we need a policy that governs this information, especially with the volunteer roles. Like I said, God forbid we didn't have Jess or Ellen, and Bill, obviously, we would have been really starting from scratch, and it just shouldn't be that way.
Well, and the thing is too, right now, I mean, we've talked about this previously, the files from the previous open space committees are down in my basement.
That's what I mean.
I have a binder about big.
This is not good for record keeping, for Freedom of Information Act requests. This is not professional.
It's not. No, I totally agree. And that's why to that point, Ellen, when the office is done, meaning the general use office, maybe you, me, and Jess can put our heads together over Zoom. You guys can show me what you have in terms of documents, right? It'll be a lengthy process, I know. But I want us to have space in that room so we can get these documents out of your basements and your closets, and we'll get them in a real space.
Yeah. I even have a file cabinet we can use, by the way.
Perfect.
It's just a short one. It's a 2-drawer file cabinet.
Okay.
So there's
we may need it, but there should be filing cabinet space. We planned the room to have enough space. So I will make sure we're first in there, and I will make sure that we have a drawer at the very least.
Yeah.
Kevin, you scan everything into your Dropbox. So how do you get all of that information into one place?
It's pretty simple, actually. It's been like, just kind of drag it. We just drag and drop it in there. It's not difficult at all. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When you guys have a paper trail, which makes it more difficult. So yeah, we would have to scan them into like a PDF. That way everybody can read it and put it in the Dropbox. But
Well, we have them all from on our emails.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, if
but
you already
Ellen, we
have it
have
in
all
a
the-
digital copy, then you should be
yeah, we
okay.
already have we just have to organize these digital copies we've been
But we
emailing.
also have a lot of stuff that Bill gave us, like, to read
Yeah.
that should be entered into
Yeah.
the open space that
Yeah,
there's no paper trail on that. It's just
yeah.
stuff
So-
that Bill gave us.
You know
Yeah.
what I-
I
So
kept
for-
everything.
So for anything like that, which are also important, we can either file it as paper, or if we want to start a digital library, I guess we'll call it, for this committee, I will take an afternoon and I'm happy to scan them. And I say that because our scanner allows multiple things to be like, you can just kind of press a button and it does it. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
I'm
nice.
happy to do that as well. So
Okay, thank you.
we'll keep in touch on that. This is really important. So I'm glad we
Yeah,
had
this is really important.
conversation.
So I've never used Google Docs. I
Mhm.
have used Dropbox and I do think it's really useful. But so Google Docs, you can use that. There's word processing and Excel file, like,
Yeah,
you
so what we
share it.
could do instead of Dropbox is because I'm actually more familiar with Google, I'm sorry.
Me
We
too.
could start a Google Drive for free for this committee. And in that folder, think of it as a folder, Ellen, you can create docs using Google Docs or spreadsheets using Google Sheets or et cetera, et cetera.
okay, can we upload our existing documents, our
Oh,
existing
absolutely.
PDFs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I will look into this.
And then you
I'll
can
look at
share
both
it
of them and
amongst
see what
everybody.
best. I'm sorry,
Ex-
Jessica, what?
You just
Exactly.
share it amongst everybody.
Yeah,
We have access.
I can't make, for myself, I can't make a judgment about which will be more useful because I haven't used the Google Docs account, So
Mhm.
if you don't mind, I'd like to look at the what the
Sure.
two programs are and what our options are.
Mhm.
And maybe I can come up with a proposal for the next meeting as to how we should be organizing our data digitally.
Sure.
That sounds
Well, the
great.
one pro to Google Docs is like you can actually work off of it, where Dropbox is essentially just a digital folder. So
Right,
that's
just file
probably the
storage.
one. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so
Google
it sounds
Drive
like
is
Google
more
Docs would be the
When
way.
Bill sends us
Mhm.
information and we want to ask him questions, we could actually highlight a different color, ask Bill the question, and he can go in and answer it.
Exactly.
Okay, and that's with Google Docs?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And it tracks that whole, like, if Jess puts something together and then I go in and change it and Jess comes in and she doesn't know, she comes in the next morning to look at the document and it's changed. She doesn't need to have a conversation with me. She can check the history and see
Okay.
exactly what has occurred. It's just a really nice tool.
Yeah, okay, so why don't we start using that? I'll go set up an account and start putting our files in there that I
Fabulous.
have.
Yep.
And I can see I'll probably come up with things that I'm missing or whatever, and we can
Brett.
work it out.
Mhm.
Brett, can we organize that afterwards by date?
I think, yes, you can. When you say organize, you mean, can you just clarify for me?
So putting it in order of how things happened. So I guess when we started this process to
Yep.
where we are now,
Yep.
there's a lot of information.
Sure.
But as we enter this into this Google Doc,
Mhm.
will it put it in the order of how this whole thing happened, I guess?
To answer your question, I'm not sure when you drop the file from your computer onto the Google Drive, if it's gonna remember that this came from, I don't know, February 2nd, 2017,
Okay,
versus the date that you put it in there. So let me take a look at that.
Yeah.
But you could
okay.
also, when you name the file as you drop it in there, you could also, if you wanted to put tag the starting date.
Absolutely. That would
Because
be
that's what I do, like with my work paperwork, is like if I do a job and it's Brett's house and I'd put 11/16/2020. That way I know what date it came from.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so I think, I will definitely look into this and, and we'll come up with a plan and I'll
Love it.
hopefully start on it, for the next meeting, try to figure out what makes sense and how to organize things. Like I know at work, we organize things like by the meeting date. So like that way you can pull it up, you can see the agenda and the minutes and
Me too.
hopefully
Yeah.
documents that were
Yep.
associated with that meeting.
Yep.
And Ellen, I have all of that in the binder.
Awesome.
All of our minutes, all of our agendas, all put in there in
Okay.
order.
All right. All right. That sounds good. Yeah. So like I said, I'll look into it and I think that's like the ideal is just to be organizing things that way. Plus also if there's ever any Freedom of Information Act request or whatever, it would be an easy way to
Yep.
pull it all up and
Oh my
just-
God, so much easier. And I will be brief in my description, but we are going through a couple of those right now. And as you know, and not public records requests more so than Freedom of Information. But
Oh, there's a difference?
well, I think it's just Freedom of Information governs everything, but the form that was filled out was just a local public records request form, per the state of Massachusetts.
Okay.
And so a bunch of those have been filled out lately. They are driving us nuts because we don't have a town administrator and everyone's having to drop everything to go back and fill all these things out. Some of things have to be scanned. I'm not making this up. Some things have to be scanned from paper into PDF. And so I can't underscore the importance in terms of just having these things on digital file, easily readable, ready to go. At a minute's notice, you can send it off. The only thing that has saved us right now is having a lot of these things on the website. You can refer someone and say that those sets of minutes are already there, publicly available for anybody. So that has been a saving grace. But I think what I'm saying is it may take us some time to do this as we do it piecemeal. In the long run, this is going to save us a lot of time. I do think so.
Yeah. I
Sure,
if
and
you
going
have it right-
forward, if we have it all set up, then it's just backing into it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has a right to see this stuff, how we came up with what we did and all that stuff. And yeah, we just owe it to people.
Yep.
And everything that I have digitally anyway, so I can send you all the background, the draft section separately. And then when we finish the draft plan, we'll format it. And I can send that to you digitally too. I'll have Sarah Brown, she does our formatting for us, she does documentation. I'll have her send it to you guys. You can put it right in your Google Drive and you'll be all set.
You rock.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. Yeah. So I will start the process of trying to organize that and we can talk about the progress.
Well, what you guys are
Next
talking about
meeting.
too, it's so important to have physical space, even if it's just a file cabinet somewhere. That way you have a presence in the town hall. So if people
Absolutely.
come by the town hall to drop things off, like in the future, if you do surveys or they want documents or they
Correct.
then drop photos or things like that, you say, yep, I'll put this here. The open space committee will get it because you have a file cabinet, you know where your
Correct.
stuff is. And the other thing I would suggest is if you have mail slots there, make sure you
I
get.
was just going to say that. Absolutely.
so-
Absolutely. That's a good point.
Yeah, definitely.
Once you're
Yeah.
in
Well, the
physical-
other thing too is sometimes like if I make an account with Google Docs, right? And we might have the cat's meow in terms of organization and everything in there. But if I quit and the password gets forgotten or that
Correct.
information is as good as gone.
Yeah.
So the printed record is also really important for that reason. So we're not.
Absolutely. But to your point and to tidy this up, I think again a bigger conversation needs to happen. And I think if every committee does what we're about to do in terms of digital organization with a password and only we have access, but there should be a main. So every committee should do this, right? Have a folder digitally with all your stuff in it, right? There's individual passwords to each of these folders. Only the members have them. However, the Board of Selectmen, or at least the administrative office, should have a spreadsheet of the passwords to each folder. And so that's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
And it's something I will bring up at a future date once we have a town administrator and aren't battling this pandemic with a closed
Right.
with closed buildings right now.
Yeah, well, the ideal system is that the town of Dayton has a server that we would
Correct.
log on to.
Correct.
And
We do.
maintain our
We
data.
do. We're just not utilizing any of our resources is kind of the main sad point.
Yeah, because like at work right now, like I log on to onto the server
Yeah.
to when I'm working from home, and the data and everything is kept there.
Yeah.
And it would be the ideal is then you're not worried about the passwords and stuff getting lost, because if I forget my password, then the IT guys can still get into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all backed up and it's all very redundant and stuff
point.
like that, and so nothing will ever be lost.
Yeah, I'll be teaching, Ellen, and I'll have put in a help ticket, and all of a sudden they take over my computer in the middle of teaching, and they start fiddling with the computer.
Yeah.
as I'm teaching. It's really a lot of fun, actually. And I say to the kids, okay, we're just gonna sit here for a minute.
Yep. Yeah, the IT guys definitely do that with my computer too. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. It should be that's how it should be done too for the town.
Yep.
We'll get there, I guess. But anyway, for
Absolutely.
now, we will start something on Google Docs, I think.
We
Sounds
will
like
be the change. I like it.
You know what's nice here too, Kevin, is you guys on the disability committee, you
Mhm.
guys can also go in and look at the open space stuff, and as parks and recreational facilities are addressed, you can go in, that way you cross-reference, certified, people come to you, you can say, yep, I know for a fact, I can go right in, this park has been done, this is what we spent, this is what we fixed, the whole bit.
I love
And it makes a very smooth transition between those committees, because
Absolutely.
when you update your open space plan, they'll want to see what you've done to address your ADA plan as well. So it's a great opportunity.
Mhm. Okay. Do we have any other business or correspondence that we need to talk about before we adjourn the meeting?
I think just the meeting minutes.
Oh, right. Yeah, we have them. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We have to approve the meeting minutes from the last meeting of October 19th. Did everyone have a chance to look at them?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I looked at them too. It looked fine for me. Did anybody have any changes?
No, so I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from October 19th, 2020.
I'll second.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, all in favor?
I,
Aye. Okay,
Aye.
great. We can do that. Brett, can I ask the next meeting, can we put on the agenda the reorganization of the committee?
Sure, absolutely.
It's
Yep.
it should have happened in July, but we didn't really have a quorum even.
Yeah, we went those were the dog days of summer, I'll call them, right?
Yeah, and stuff like that. It seems like we should, plus also, I don't know if you want to remain secretary or what, but
I think, I think we're almost at the end of the plan. I'm happy to put it on the agenda. We can do it, but I have no problem with Jess remaining the clerk, you remaining the chair, and I'm happy to help with the agenda and the minutes when needed. The cool thing is, I'm going to be honest, we have these YouTube videos recorded. So like I didn't have time to take minutes tonight because I'm getting ready for the town meeting. I will do the minutes, when I have, a free afternoon, and we'll get them done. So I think that's fine if Kevin's okay with it, unless you want to be, you want us to reorganize.
No, we don't need to. I just thought we should check in because it's been a while. But if people don't feel the need, then we don't need to.
Well, I just think, and in full honesty, you both have been the anchors of the committee, so I think it's appropriate that we keep it the same, especially while we're getting our plan approved and finalized.
Okay.
So.
All right, then we don't need to put it on the agenda. Okay.
and I'll be honest, once this pandemic is over, hopefully I'm on the computer 8 hours a day teaching, and hopefully by the end of this, it won't be like that anymore. And then I can come back and take over the minutes, Brett.
Yeah, well, the cool thing, I'm going to be honest, we're a team, And I'm on my computer anyway, so for me to simply type while I'm sitting here already is really not an extra big thing for me. So
Okay,
it's
well, I
really not a
appreciate it.
big deal. But like I told Alan, we're a team. We have a goal and we're gonna get it done.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So I guess we don't need that on the agenda, and we can adjourn the
No,
meeting.
wait, we have to decide when our next meeting is.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And then
getting ahead of
can someone advise me if you have anything you'd like on the agenda? Because what I've been doing is pretty much using Jess's agenda from before the
10
summer.
years
And,
ago.
yeah, exactly. So if you have something and you don't know about it right now, let me know and I'm happy to get it on there before our next meeting.
Yeah. So we're looking at I guess our typical meeting would be the 21st. Is that right? We've been doing the third Monday.
That would be
can
the
do that.
21st. It's a little close to the
Christmas.
holidays. Does
Yeah.
anyone have a conflict or want to meet a week earlier or anything? I
We're
don't.
not going anywhere.
Yeah, we are.
No,
That's
nobody's
We're
going
not
anywhere.
having parties this year.
Well, someone could be, some people go like, Vermont or New Hampshire and they get a little cabin with the fam, So I
Yeah,
don't
then
know
you
if
could
everyone's
Zoom,
going to be in town.
But even if you travel, you could probably Zoom, unless you are up in the North Woods or something.
Yeah,
Hey, you're not going anywhere.
We can have a virtual holiday party, where we get cookies
Correct.
and hand them up to the screen like this and say, okay, you take it.
I'll hand out virtual eggnog at the next.
That's right. We'll look like
next
we're having
meeting
fun.
for
That's it,
everyone.
yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like everybody's okay with the 21st then.
Yeah, that
and
works.
That works.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. So next meeting, it will be the 21st of December at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
And I will of course send out the minutes from tonight, agenda for next meeting, as well as the Zoom meeting info before the meeting.
All right.
All right,
right.
sounds good, guys. All right.
Have a good month. See you in December.
Okay, so
Right, yeah.
I think we need a vote to adjourn the meeting.
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
let's adjourn the meeting. Have a great
All right.
night.